I think it's time I published a book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was out of curiosity. I did a little scan on my my Podiots Google Doc where everything gets thrown. Now it's sitting at like 35,000 words.
Wow.
Which I think that qualifies it to be a book. Is there a minimum on books? Because kids' books are very light on words, but they're still classed as books.
Some books don't have words in them at all. They're just pictures.
Ooh. Oh, well, I've done extra good then. I've got a lot of words. That makes it a very good
Did you
book.
write all of those words yourself?
Yeah, they're your words, Michael.
It's a combination of copy and pasting and tweaking and writing. So it's, I mean, if I just put at the bottom credit to all original authors, sorry, that'd be fine. Like people do on YouTube.
Fine, yeah.
Credit.
That makes plagiarism okay.
Copyright belongs to all respective owners, and then bam, you're
no
free.
No copyright infringement intended. I own nothing.
That'd be a sick time.
What are you going to call this book?
Oh shit. Oh man, sprung that on me. Maybe I should have thought of this. Welcome to
You really should. Yeah.
Is this the title that you're saying now? Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh man, you really. Oh, you sprung
really
that
should
on
have
me.
thought of a title. Yeah, that's it. Bam.
That's good. That's more words as well. That's like 10 more words.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot. Do titles count as words? Yeah, they must. Yeah, I'm making it count.
Yeah, I think so.
This book is all about the word count, not the content or how good it is. It's just look at how many words are in it. Wow.
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 Can't wait to read it.
I'll get a copy to you soon.
How much is it?
50.
50.
God, there he is. We got one into the intro. That's it.
In the
Jugson, will you get out, Jugson?
Oh, I fucking did.
Yeah, I know.
That was the worst shoehorning of Michael Jugson I've ever heard, and I'm sorry to be the proponent
it's
of
not
that.
in the right quote.
Yeah.
50.
50.
Brilliant. Well,
Sorry.
with that, we better go and ask.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the three us, where everybody brings
a thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
Hooray!
Hello.
You right?
Yep. You?
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
You?
Yeah.
Doing all right, you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good.
You?
Good to hear it. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
You right, Peter?
Great.
Great.
You're not going to ask me how I am?
No,
That's a bit
no.
rude.
No.
Michael, you alright?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Welcome to Podiots, everyone. This is a comedy podcast. Can you tell?
Have you laughed yet? Let us know.
Have your sides fallen off?
You laughing yet?
Uh,
I mean, I don't even know what else to say other than, hey, do you want to give us some money?
for
Oh,
that,
Jesus Christ.
cough up.
Come on, was that not good enough for you? Give us some money, will you?
Jesus.
Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. If you donate £3 or more, you get to support us to make this, whatever this is.
What a
when we're
noble
tired
endeavour. Yeah.
after a day's work. And you'll also join Pod Squad. You'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. We're going to get into the rest of the show shortly, I promise you. But here is this week's Pod Squad, starting with Mikey Johnson.
Boris Johnson's son, John Borison. Oh, I hadn't read that one before. That is fantastic. Big fan. Peter's Parrot's POV porn. Spingling ting jing pling. Mr. Black. Hero in a half shirt. Tiny power. Harrison Rathbone. Mike Ox Small.
Got him.
That one. Got him. Donaco 7. Always a misadventure. Lasagna put Dave in Halfords.
In Halfords section.
Lasagna put Dave in Halfords. There we go. Beautiful. R.I.P. Harambe and Geronimo.
Oh no.
Who's Geronimo?
The Chihuahua.
The alpaca.
Wait, oh God, no, yeah, you're right.
No,
that was
that's
Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, that's a recent cut. Yeah, Geronimo the alpaca. He rest in peace. DBP and Lord B go to Red Square. The generous Sniper Gryphon, I think. Griffin. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nailed it, Mike.
As in the mythological being.
Is that how you spell Griffin? I refuse to believe that's how you spell... What?
You can spell it like that or Griff.
I just thought it was like a half rhyme with sniper.
Sniper gripe.
Anyway, they've been very generous and I've butchered the name. And they say, we were watching a dirty video with guy and girl in wrestling ring. Just as my husband was finishing, he started laughing about Barbara Piss. I looked up to see that the guy had set up the girl for a jinkle jam. Anyway, happy 10th anniversary, Ryan.
Wow. What a relationship.
Amazing.
International sex symbol, Barbara Piss, apparently. Incredible. Happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
that was
congrats.
a ride from start to finish.
Couples who watch porn together, they donate to Podiots.
They do.
Oh,
yeah.
Cute. Pro trainer, Stookalicious, a monkey stole my tiny spoiler, and raindrop joy. Thank you all.
Also, this week we have Hawkman105, who was very generous and said, "Hi lads, wanted to say thanks for keeping me sane whilst doing 4 a.m. shifts since January. Finally able to donate and thought I'd chuck some extra for back pay, as I've been listening since my brother James introduced me to you a few years ago. Cheers." Oh. Thanks, Hawkman.
Cheers.
Thank you, Hawkman.
Thank you.
I can smell Freddie Webber. Chegwin, Segwin, Regwin, Deadwin. Get it up, yeah. Marquis Chegwin the Great, Cheggers Deluxe with cheese, Jenny Tilwart Daves in York. Oh, I see.
Okay, so I think this might be a Dave. Jenny might be the donator.
No, it's Jenny Tilwarts. Genital wart.
Oh, okay, very good. Very good, gotcha.
Wowie.
Yeah.
But Dave is in York.
Dave is in York. Dave BDSM Phillips. Richard Wilson's Dick Willie, that one bean that Ben lost, more like Cockness. Oh, very good. It's a reference to last time. Lou Sanas put Dave in Aldi. Am I saying that right? Lucanus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Lucanus.
Hello. Loose anus. Put Dave in Aldi. Sky the Grandpa. Peter Fanny Eater. Jong Zena, or China, it might be, actually.
I like that one. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. DBP is at the Creation Museum, who was very generous and said Dave Benson Phillips has visited the Creation Museum in Kentucky. It's a museum designed to, quote, prove the Earth is 6,000 years old, dinosaurs lived with humans, and that evolution is a lie. What fun.
Wow.
So he's clearly been added there.
I'd definitely go to that museum, though. I need to see it, I think.
That sounds lit.
For those who haven't caught the last episode, number one, why are you not listening to them in order? And number two, these are in reference to the fact that people have clearly added photos of Dave Benson Phillips to various landmarks and places on Google Maps.
Yep, I've had 500 views on my photo of Dave in a ball pit.
Yeah, I've had like 100 on mine of Mount Rushmore, but it still won't. I can't find it if I sort by newest.
We are manifesting Dave's resurgence in popular culture purely through Google Maps.
Dave continues. I mean, Dave. The list continues. The list continues. I got bum worms. Cunt Eastwood, the stupidest one. Okay, and a little bit of Monaco.
Oh,
lovely.
In my life.
We also have Spready Cheeks, Slappy Balls, Who You Gonna Call Nutbusters, The Parrot Penis Was a Bit Much, Had to Look Up What Dogging Is.
Oh, no.
Oliver Claws Off.
Nice. Close off.
Fist Me at a Pizza Hut Plus. Che Guevaro?
Guevaro.
Like Aero the chocolate bar? I think.
Che Guevara.
Yeah, because that's a follow-on from the stuff from last time. The dictators and stuff, remember? With the chocolate bars?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Che Guevara.
Nice.
Parrots Prehensile Penis, Mr. Macca, Caroline, I have your UB40 CD. Oh no, Caroline.
Oh, gotta get that back.
The big breakup continues. Her Majesty Stinkfrinkle. Janet, please move your car. Steve Osten is Peter's dad.
True.
Mikey's dogging partner. Just Keep Swimming Ash. Full Monitor, Finn Tristram, and Windy Miller. And there you go. That's your pod squad for this week. Remember, streamlabs.com/Podiots donations to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know how else you can contribute to this podcast and future episodes is by being quick off the mark when we put a post out saying questions, please, and asking questions for this podcast.
Wow.
I brought some along.
Have you?
God.
Yeah, I've got them right here. Do you want one?
Yeah, here's one.
Question 1 comes from Addy Pramana. Well, it's Addy, and it's at 2Addy_P, so I'm assuming it's Addy Pramana from our Twitch chat, who simply asks, have you seen this? Should add that I didn't do this myself. I just wanted to check if someone else did something silly. And, well, and then that's where it ends. Now? I'm going to send you guys a screenshot of the tweet. In fact, what I should have got is a hyperlink so that you can access this directly. But now there is a place on Google Maps called Feldhoyers-Podiots Meat Facery.
Oh, it's beautiful.
No.
Does that mean they've changed all of the information? I don't know if that's actually the Feldhoyers HQ or if they've just done it.
Let's have a look.
It's on Industrialstrasse 12, which is Industrial Street. Feldhoyers Podiots.
I found it. Yeah, it is. That's the one. It's got all the reviews on it from Podiots listeners. Someone has renamed it.
Someone has now renamed Feldhoyers HQ to Feldhoyers-Podiots Meat Facery, which is the best bit.
So you can suggest an edit, and Google just says, yeah. You can also just ask that it be removed from the map.
Wow, really?
Oh, really?
Which is bonkers. Like, that doesn't, surely not, right?
I'm going to start ransacking small villages and make them look like they've got nothing going on by harassing the Google Maps entries.
Because you have to register as like the owner of a business on Google so that you can get it to appear in the first place. How are they not notified or asked about any of these changes?
They just asked to supply a picture of you at work, and they just supply a picture of the original sausage meat face in a suit, and they're like, well, can't say no to that.
All the photos that are uploaded are from 2003. There's, you know what's not on here?
Mm-hmm.
A Dave.
Oh, there's no Dave yet.
No Dave on here.
No,
there are some later
Dave.
ones, some logos from 2017, some really fake clown ham renders from 2015.
We've had an extra review from a day ago. Simon Duff says, would tell a friend, 5 stars.
It's a quality meat facery.
Also from a week ago, George Mather has said meat resurgence and rated it 5 stars. It's very good.
Is it one of these guys? Are they the ones who have done this?
Well, someone listed as the CEO of Feldhoyers-Podiots Meat Facery.
Because it shows which things I've edited on my profile, so I'm wondering if any of these naughty boys have are the culprits here. Do we dub them in? No, we can't.
No.
I will though. I might.
It's very good. I mean,
don't watch your attitude.
I'm not suggesting that people continue to do this and just sabotage Google Maps, but also can't stop you from doing it, you know?
No. Maybe we leave Feldhoyers Podiots Meat Facery alone.
Before they get us into legal hot water.
Yeah, because we've literally left our fingerprints all over it now. Like, there's a difference between changing it to like a meat factory, meat products. Description compared to actually putting our name in the title.
To be fair, we've done nothing bad. All we did was a semi-legitimate change to meat products, and then other people have not review bombed it, but, you know, given it strange reviews and now changed it to Feldhoyers-Podiots Meat Facery.
In case people aren't familiar with this, This is the German custom ham company that print meat logs with patterns in them. Your Billy Bear ham, your
football ham,
clown football,
your spooky ham for Halloween that's got sort of like a pumpkin face in it.
So you slice into the cross section of this giant ham sausage and get yourself a slice of sandwich ham, and it's got the face in it that you've requested in various shades of sickening pink.
Yeah. I've emailed them before asking if we could get like a little sample of meat face made up in it, but I didn't get any replies.
So consider this payback, Feldhughes.
Consider this, for you not taking our nonsense email seriously.
Yeah.
Well,
I think legally we should be on record saying
Yeah.
at no point have we encouraged that people change the name of the business, and we continue to not encourage you to do that. But I mean, there's nothing to stop you leaving reviews. That's all I'll say.
Make them nice ones at least. no
They're
zero
all 5
stars.
star so far, I think.
Hey, there you go.
Maybe go for some bigger businesses, like find your local McDonald's
Or Amazon Depot.
and just call it McDonald's Podiots. In fact, I'm going to try that.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Oh, God. Can we just edit, like, Times Square to say Podiots, and everyone in the world will see that until it's definitely changed back?
Suggest an edit.
Change. I'm going to change the McDonald's I used to work at as McPodiots.
Oh, McPodiots is great. I'm changing it to I'm changing McDonald's local to Feldhoyers, just so it looks like the Podiots is sort of taking over the region.
Right, okay.
Send. I'm suggesting this edit. You'll get an email when your suggestion is reviewed. So someone did this.
Wait.
And then Google looked at it and said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
you know
of that.
what? Yeah, that is that.
Oh, dear.
Surely that won't work for the McDonald's, though, because they've got to know that McPodiots isn't real. Surely. But the request is in Steinfurt, Germany.
That's crazy. I guess it must be that, like, maybe an English-speaking person reviewed the suggested change for Feldhoyer's Podiots Meat Facery, and because it's just a series of words that maybe they didn't recognise, they just thought, well, no one's changed it to I hate Republicans, or do you know what I mean? Like, no one's deliberately being a dick. So I guess it's probably some legitimate business change that I'm not aware of. The Feldhoyers family must have married into the Podiots
dynasty.
And opened a new meat facery on Industrial Strasse. So,
I mean, I don't mind targeting bigger companies like McDonald's. I don't want to target little,
no,
family businesses or whatever.
The Clown Ham Company.
The shelves are already bare. We can't do ourselves out of the Billy Bear ham as well. We need this relationship to last.
I mean, there's international relations to think of. Now that we're no longer in the EU, we could cause a diplomatic disaster here.
Michael Johnson, son of Boris Johnson, was found defacing Google Maps.
I'm going to edit an Amazon hub locker in Leiven or Marl, Germany. Let's see. I'm going to call this one Podiots Presents Amazon Hub Locker.
Oh, I like that.
This doesn't feel legal. I don't know why I'm allowed to do this. Why is it letting me do it? Why do I have this power?
I'm going to search the world for anything that might be called Podiots.
Oh, this is great. I'm enjoying this.
No, it looks like there's only... I mean, it takes you straight to the meat facery when you do that, but...
if you search Vidiots as well, it takes you to several American cinemas.
Video shops and stuff, yeah. The ones who people constantly tweet us about and say, they stole your name. No, they didn't.
No, they were definitely there.
Very much didn't.
Do you reckon we can find a big chain of podiatrists and just change the name of one so it's a podiatrist?
Well, yeah, as I was typing in Podiots, it did
Podiatrist.
suggest podiatrist. Yeah.
That's the best business name. Jesus Christ. Oh.
I will continue to refresh my emails. Hopefully it pops up during the podcast like it did before when we first took action against Feldhoyer's meat facery.
Oh, man. Can't wait for the day our Google accounts just get shut down. We're not allowed to access anything on the internet.
Yeah.
I should be doing this on a burner email, really. But
you should. Yeah, do it on your triple jump email, and then you have to explain to Adam why. Because we're served by Gmail as well, so that would be pretty bad.
Feldhoyersgroup.de. Sorry, Feldhoyers. Your meat does look ghastly, though. If it's legal for us to rename your business, it certainly shouldn't be legal for you to make ham that looks like that.
Yeah. How do they get different shades of ham? Like, is it different meats?
This is what I want to know. Can we interview the man? I want to interview Mr. Feldhoyers.
I think they just blend the entire thing into a single meat paste, and then they probably add food colouring to different amounts, and then they reconstitute it into a shape. I imagine that's how they do it.
That sounds about right, but I want to think there's some meaty dark magic going on.
Yeah,
like extra aged ham.
I think they just grow the pig like that.
It's just one long tube, and it's got that face as well,
like a stick of rock. It just looks like a clown at the front.
Yeah, instead of a face, it's just got a. And then its arsehole is the same as well, just at both ends. It's a clown face.
All they do is cut off the legs. That is cursed.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we need to move on from this because we could do this all night. Genuinely. Can you add that screenshot to the thread for people on Twitter? Again, if you're not familiar, we kick off every episode on Twitter with a picture of our Lord and Saviour Dave Benson Phillips, and then we reply to that image in a thread with various things that we talk about and reference. So go check out that
I've been
thread.
thinking what we should do, and I'm not saying we will ever be asked to do this, but is like make some sort of master document with hyperlinks to each episode so people can go to the relevant threads.
Well, this is why we need a website as well, so we can embed them.
Yeah,
per episode, but you know,
handy. And maybe even host the images ourselves before they go offline and stuff.
Who's got time, eh?
Yeah, not me. I've got a thing.
Oh.
Thank you to the many people who sent this to me. I'd already sorted it myself as well, but lots of people knew that I would want to cover this. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. It was promised a few episodes ago. The top 10 funniest jokes from the Edinburgh Fringe 2021.
Trying to judge again. Comedians without their delivery.
Yeah. So here I've got an article according to comedy.co.uk. Oh, it's going to be really funny then. And I'm going to read the 10 funniest jokes from the Edinburgh Fringe 2021. Just, you know, in however I choose to deliver them, I guess. And you guys will laugh.
Okay.
Can you present one in the style of Dave Benson Phillips, please? I don't know what that means, but I want that.
I'll do one at random as Dave Benson. I'll give you no warning.
Okay.
Number one. I don't think these are in any particular order. Or they might be this might be the best one, actually. I'll go from the bottom up because they're numbered 1 to 10. So I'll go from 10. Here we go. People say zoos are inhumane, but that's because they're for animals.
It's pronounced Zeus, actually.
Zeus. That's from Samir Katz. Thank you.
Good name. Good name.
That was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Number 9. I don't know what you call a small spillage from a pen, but I have an inkling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Richard Pulsford, thank you for that one.
Cheers, Dave.
Samir Katz in at number 8 as well. He's got 2 entries.
Double whammy.
I think Chewbacca is French because he understands English but refuses to speak it.
Is that a thing?
I like. Well, yeah, that's what French people do, I think. Number 7, from Will Mars. My grandparents were married for 40 years, but everything took longer back then.
Whoa, these aren't good, are they?
They're not, are they? These are the 10
really
best jokes.
Yeah. God, it's
Really
been a hard year
hard.
for inspiration, but still.
Very quick McPodiots update. I have official confirmation that it is in review.
Ooh.
Okay, fantastic. This is the first of more than one joke about cesareans in this top 10 list, would you believe?
Dear, big theme this year.
Number 6, from Ben Clover. Not Ben Dover, Ben Clover. Ben says, getting a cesarean is dangerous in Russia. If they open you up and find a little girl, they open her up to see if there's another.
That one's all right.
Yeah.
Little nesting doll joke.
It is. It sounds like it's going in a really horrible direction, and then it's like, oh no, it's just a Russian dolls gag. All right.
Best of the bunch so far.
Well done, Ben.
Thank you.
Leo Curse says, Marvin Gaye used to keep a sheep in my vineyard. He'd heard it through the grapevine.
No, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a groaner, but I still appreciate that one, Leo. Thank you.
I'm trying to muster any response to these that isn't just
This definitely seems the worst we've done ever. So this, for those who haven't been listening for a long time, I do this every year. It always gets some kind of lackluster reaction, but this is the most cricket-filled one I think we've had thus far. The Roman emperor's wife hates playing hide and seek because wherever she goes, Julius sees her. Oh, Adele Cliff, well done. That's not bad. It's not bad. Number 3, from Tom Mayhew. Me and my ex were into role play. I'd pretend to be James Bond, and she'd pretend she still loves me.
Oh, I get it.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo. Okay, number 2. This is top 3 material.
Oh, God, there's only 2 left. God.
My therapist told me a problem shared is 100 quid.
That's all right.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. Ivor Dembina, that one was. And number 1 is our other cesarean-related joke. I thought the word cesarean began with the letter S, but when I looked it up in the dictionary, it was in the C section.
Okay, I don't like that one. That was number 1.
That was the funniest joke
That's
of the Edinburgh Fringe 2021.
Pack it up, guys. The Edinburgh Fringe is done.
That was from Masai Graham.
Good God.
Worst jokes. Fringe.
I bet these are really good. I bet the worst jokes are actually really funny.
They were like one of the other times we did it, but I've just Googled it. I didn't even think to check it beforehand, but I can't find.
It doesn't look like there's a 10 worst.
No, there's not yet. There have been some worst jokes articles, but it's not there yet. So that's, I mean, true to the astounding intro that we did about how, this is the comedy podcast that makes you laugh. That's what you get from me this week. Just some really funny jokes.
Thank you, Peter.
That you didn't laugh at.
I feel so enriched.
Yeah.
I'm watching a video of them handing like a gold plate to the joke of the Edinburgh Fringe 2021. So like it's an actual physical award they give out. I didn't know that. Oh, there you go. I'll keep trying. Maybe one day you too.
Take it back.
He doesn't deserve it.
Take it back.
Oh, he looks very happy with it though. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Well, there you go. That's my thing. That's your lot from me today.
Thank you, Peter. That was truly, truly wonderful.
I've got some questions here. Some more questions. So here we go. What's the best? This is from Crisp at Level 1 Crisp on Twitter. What's the best way to make friends? Wrong answers only. Thank you, Crisp.
Thank you, Crisp.
Oh, goodness me. The best way to make friends. I think the best way to make friends is to go onto public transport on a quiet time of the day. So, you're on the metro, the carriage is nearly empty, and you just look for, perhaps a guy just sitting by himself. Just go sit next to him. Just ask him how his day is. That's the best way to make friends, I think. Strike up conversation.
Smell his hair.
Yeah, smell his hair. Smell his knees.
If he's got a little stain on his trousers from his lunch, give it a licky finger and get it off for him.
You saved some for me. Thank you, friend.
Oh, thank you. Delicious.
Thank you for sharing it. Maybe a healthy stalk of someone's social media page and then bringing up intimate details about their life that you shouldn't know.
Oh God!
Yeah, is this more fun than that time you went to Marbella in 2017?
Yeah, I saw that you went to see such and such band at the O2 Academy in 2008. I love that band, or I love that venue.
Yeah.
My usual go-to is just etching in public bathroom walls if you're looking for a good time, and my number beneath it. And yeah, I've had lots of interesting people. No one's been friendship material yet, but one day I'll get there.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
One of my greatest, like, actual real life instances of being like, oh, I'm a bit scared of you as a person was when we were looking for new flatmates a couple of years ago. We interviewed one person who said, you got any interest, anything you like? And they just replied, insects.
What?
What?
It
was like,
no verb, just insects.
We just kind of stood around like, okay. We didn't bother expanding on that much. Sad to say they didn't get chosen for the room, but no.
I've always really struggled with like people who try really, really, really hard and like really, really want to be like. It's seemingly they have almost an agenda to like, I am going to be your friend, and sometimes I've had a few times in my life where I've found that inherently incredibly irritating, and I've been put in a very, very difficult position by this person's overwhelming kindness and friendliness, where it's like a really, what do I do? Because I feel like a dick because I don't want to be your friend. What do you do, though? What do you do in that situation?
It's true.
You just smile along for years and years.
No, I don't have time for that, Michael. I'm going to die one day. I don't have time for that shit. How do you deal with that?
I don't know. It's difficult.
Apart from making them feel uncomfortable and unwelcome, and you feel horrible inside.
Because they've done nothing wrong. All they've ever done is really nice things to you.
And you just... It's just a little bit of unkindness will prevent far more unpleasantness down the line, if that makes sense, right? Like if you're not a dick to them, but if you're just sort of not very friendly to them, that initial nastiness is far preferable probably for both parties than almost lying to them by, as you said, Mikey, just smiling and just accepting their friendship unwillingly. And then it potentially coming to an end horribly at some later point when you get so close that you murder them.
Stop being so nice!
I don't want to be your friend. Stop it. I know I'm really cool.
There was an unfortunate thing that happened when I was in primary school. I was in year 5, and there was a lady who was she was just a lunchtime like playground monitor. I think she lived in the village, and she wasn't a quote-unquote dinner lady. She would just come to the playground on a rota at lunchtime and would just be there, I guess because the teachers were having lunch and stuff. So she'd only be there for like an hour a day. And one day, she just came over to me and a couple of my friends who were just in the playground. And rather awkwardly, she said that her son, they'd just moved into the village. I think she'd been living nearby, but now they'd moved house into the actual village. And she said her son wanted to make some new friends in the village, and would we be his friends, basically? And we didn't know who this boy was, and we didn't want to be unkind and say no. So we were like, we'll sure, we'll hang out with him.
Roughly, how old were you at this point?
23.
Year 5. So what is that? Like 9 or 10? Maybe?
Okay, so that's like old enough where you've established your own friends and you've got your people you like. It's not like if you're a 5-year-old and you're just thrown in a room with another child, you'll get on probably.
Yeah,
it's slightly different.
I feel for the guy that he just moved into a new place and didn't have friends in the village and wanted to make new friends, but it's just a bit like he could have just potentially made friends organically. Like there was a park in that village that loads of the kids used to go to, and I kind of feel like if he just sort of turned up there and just if people have been playing football or whatever, and if he just said can I play, people would have welcomed him in. But because his mum came and said, will you be my son's friend, I think he then had that in the back of his mind all the time, like after that. And so we didn't hang out with him that often, but when we did, he always just seemed to have a bit of a a guilt about him or a discomfort because he just thought like, my mum set me up with you kind of. I think he was. He might have even asked her to do that. I think he was just embarrassed about it. So that's definitely a wrong answer to that question. Best way to make friends: don't let your mum approach kids from another school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It depends though. Invite them over and you've got like party sausages and cake. Like, all right, yeah, this is fine. I'll use you for your parents' food.
I think everyone's been in that situation though. Billy Bear Ham.
Oh, big table just of nothing but Billy Bear Ham.
Everyone's been through that. I think that awkward time to be friends. That's one of the things I do relish about being a grown-up, so to speak, is that you can always you always have excuses, always, you know. And usually, most people get the hint that if you just say no enough times, that they just stop asking you to do stuff, right?
Yeah,
and that's kind of a godsend.
My favourite excuse I've heard to like someone getting out of like after work pints was like, "Oh, sorry, it's bin day tomorrow. I can't do today."
I would respect that so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We just gotta look. Yeah, we just do a stunned look, and I'm not going to push on that. I don't want to know how in depth your bin routine is, even if it exists.
Yeah, he could have been telling the truth, and he's just a bin fetishist,
just an avid sorter of recycling.
Sorry, it's insect day tomorrow. Got to go home and prepare.
I think you mean insect day.
That's what I said.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think you said inset day.
No.
So I was going to make a joke about that. So, fucking hell. Discord.
Jesus.
Who's got a thing?
No, just let the stink hang. Let the stink hang.
Okay, hang on. Let's go back to that
for a minute. I thought you said inset day. I was going to make a joke about it.
Do you want to just kind of cover the stink with a thing?
Yes,
I've got a better idea than a thing.
What?
Yeah.
How about an ad break?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh.
Support for Podiots is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower, registered trademark 4.0.
You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code RULESBUSH. RULESBUSH at manscaped.com.
Yes, they actually let us have that as our code. We've been lucky enough to trial some of the new Lawnmower 4.0s, and I mean, speaking personally, wowie, what a thrill ride experience they are. Genuinely, the tippy top in male grooming technology. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. Previously, my favorite time was the pooping time, but now it's shaving time. Ooh. If, like me, you're used to trimming your downstairs area with a pair of brutal scissors, well, boy, do we have the invention for you. It's now slick, easy and painless to keep yourself groomed with the new Manscaped products. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Now I feel confident shaving my boys.
So go to manscaped.com now.
And use the code RULESBUSH for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Your balls will thank you.
I've got a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did you hear about the British Airways pilot who was dangling out of the plane?
No.
What?
What?
Okay, I'm hoping this is a story neither of you are aware of, but we'll see. Here we go. It's a write-up from admiralcloudberg.medium.com.
Oh, right, okay.
Who the hell is he?
On the 10th of June 1990, a mid-air drama unfolded in the skies over England after an explosive decompression rocked British Airways Flight 5390. As the plane climbed towards cruising altitude on a flight to Malaga, the cockpit windscreen suddenly blew out, sucking the captain partially out of the plane. while the flight attendants held onto his legs for dear life. The sole remaining pilot lined up for a harrowing emergency landing in Southampton, working alone under enormous pressure to save the lives of his 81 passengers.
Jesus wept.
Dun, dun, dun. Have you heard about this?
No, I think I'm aware of some British air disasters because, relatively speaking, they don't happen very often in the UK. But
no,
I've not heard of this one. I don't think.
Well, no, good. This is slightly before our time in 1990, ever so slightly before our time. But it sort of did the rounds again last year because some photos were shared from a recreation sort of docu-series. And people are like, oh my God, is that real? It's not. The photos aren't real.
No one was snapping photos of it as this
from
event
like 20
was
feet above, yeah. Taken by the pilot as he flew out.
His phone was found 6 days later in Scotland.
Nobody died, just to be clear, so you can make jokes. Good. It's all fine.
Yeah, probably should check that.
Yeah, everybody was fine. Nobody fell off a mountain. We're all okay. I've done my due diligence on this one. The unbelievable story of Flight 5390 began a couple of days before the flight in a British Airways maintenance facility in Birmingham at 3 a.m. in the morning. Thank you. One of the planes in for service that night was a British Aerospace BAC 111, pictured below. It's a plane. I'm not going to send you the picture.
It's a good plane.
Among the items on the long list of work orders for this aircraft was a new captain's side windscreen. The shift maintenance manager, who was responsible for overseeing it and inspecting all the work done on the aircraft, decided that he would replace the windscreen himself. He hadn't replaced a windscreen in several years, but he figured he knew how to do it well enough and never looked up the procedure in the BAC 111 maintenance manual.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The shift manager used a lift to reach the cockpit and began removing the bolts securing the captain's side windscreen. Noticing that many of them showed signs of corrosion, he decided that he would need to replace the bolts as well as the windscreen. After removing all 90 bolts, he correctly identified them as Type 8211/7D.
Of course.
However, if he had read the manual, he actually would have known that the windscreen was normally secured with the similar Type A2118D bolts, which had the same diameter but were about 1/4 of a centimetre long. Whoever replaced the windscreen last time had used the wrong kind.
Oh.
The shift manager then went to the on-site storeroom to find more A2117D bolts. The store supervisor commented that they normally use A2118D bolts on BAC 111 windscreens, but the shift manager apparently disregarded this. However, when he found the correct container, he discovered that there were only 4 bolts inside, far less than the required minimum stock of 50. If he wanted A2117D bolts, he'd have to look elsewhere. Scroll down.
So he took them off a different window and used them on the left side.
That's it. In search of a match for the bolts, the shift manager went to a self-service parts carousel in another part of the facility. But the labels on the containers were badly worn, the light was dim, and he didn't have his glasses.
God,
oh, for God's sake. Come on, how many things have gone wrong here?
He figured he could find some A2117D bolts by visually comparing them with the old ones until he found
the
match.
corroded ones.
After searching for some minutes, he found what he thought was the right kind of bolt and took 84 of them, keeping 6 of the originals that were in decent condition. Unfortunately, the shift manager's eye was not as good as he thought it was. The bolts he grabbed were actually 8211/8C bolts, which were the correct length but were 0.066 centimetres too narrow, which is pretty close, to be fair. Without realising his mistake, he took these bolts back to the plane and began installing them on the captain's side's windshield screen. Thank you, website. The thread spacing was the same as the correct bolts, so they fit into the holes. Although the bolts occasionally slipped, he was working at an awkward angle from which he couldn't distinguish this slipping from the normal slipping of the clutch of the electric screwdriver. Do you want to see a side-by-side of the bolts? This is now.
Oh, yes, please.
Now we're really getting to the cool stuff. Here you go. Here's a side-by-side of those sexy bolts. Wow.
Oh.
They look the same.
Yeah, they do.
They're bolts.
After screwing in all 90 bolts, he climbed back down and called it a day. He didn't notice that the new bolts descended too far into the holes, exactly the sort of thing that a second set of eyes might have noticed, but as the shift manager, he normally was that second set of eyes.
Oh, God.
Nor did anyone else need to inspect the work, because the windscreen was not considered a vital point that needed additional oversight. The shift manager went home later that morning, and the next shift was left none the wiser. The following day, the shift manager had one last chance to realise his mistake when he witnessed another mechanic replace a different windscreen using A211 8D bolts. But, still believing he had put in A211 7D bolts, he assumed this was just the natural variance between different BAC triple 11s made at different times. After all, the bolts he took off had held the windscreen in place for 4 years. Still unaware of his potentially catastrophic error, he took no action, and the BAC 111 was returned to service for its next journey, Flight 5390 from Birmingham to Malaga, Spain.
The pilot was 2 days from retirement and had
We'll find out.
Had his fiancée waiting at home.
Oh, no. 81 passengers and 6 crew boarded the flight on the morning of the 10th of June 1990, including the two pilots, Captain Tim Lancaster, Lancaster, that's how you would say it, Peter, Tim Lancaster, and the first officer, Alistair Atchison. As Flight 5390 climbed out of Birmingham, at first all was normal. Approaching 17,000 feet, the flight attendants began drink service. The pilots undid their seatbelts and ordered breakfast. It would never arrive.
Oh my God!
Moments later, as the plane climbed through 17,300 feet, the pressure differential between the cockpit and the outside air grew to the point that the improperly installed captain's side windscreen could no longer hold. The air pressure blasted the captain's windscreen, bolts and all, straight off the plane and out into space. An explosive decompression immediately rocked the plane.
It doesn't say that.
What's that?
And out into space.
Hang on. The air pressure blasted the captain's windscreen, bolts and all, straight off the plane and out into space.
How high was this plane going?
It's gone into the cosmos. It's still up there.
Maybe. Still going. An explosive decompression immediately rocked the plane, the violent pressure equalization ripping away every loose object and sending the debris hurtling into the cockpit. The decompression sucked Captain Lancaster upward and outward, pulling him halfway out of the cockpit before his feet became entangled in the control column. The explosion also ripped the cockpit door off its hinges and slammed it forwards into the center console, blocking the throttle levers.
Oh, Jesus
wept.
It's all going wrong. With Captain Lancaster's feet pushing against the yoke, the autopilot disconnected and the plane pitched down into a dive.
Oh, my God.
Within seconds of the explosion, flight attendant Nigel Ogden caught sight of the situation in the cockpit and ran to Atchison's aid. He rushed in and grabbed Captain
caught
Lancaster's
sight of
waist.
This catastrophe that was unfolding right next to him.
He somehow noticed it. Grabbed Captain Lancaster's waist just in time to stop him going all the way out, holding on for dear life as the air continued to rush out of the plane. Moments later, the pressure equalized and the wind came roaring back in the other way, pinning Captain Lancaster backwards across the top of the fuselage and creating a tornado of loose debris inside the cockpit. The plane was rapidly losing altitude and Atchison couldn't reach the throttle levers. He frantically issued a mayday call, but over the sound of the wind, he couldn't tell if the controllers heard him. As Flight 5390 plunged out of control through some of the busiest airspace in Britain, 2 more flight attendants, Simon Rogers and John Heward, fought their way into the cockpit. Heward stamped on the cockpit door, breaking it in half and freeing the throttles, then stepped in alongside Ogden and grasped Captain Lancaster's legs. By now, Ogden was suffering from frostbite, and his arms felt as though they would pop out of their sockets, according to this author. Unable to hold on any longer, he stepped back and let Rogers and Heward take over. The 2 men untangled Lancaster's legs from the control column and placed them over the back of the captain's chair, holding him more firmly in place and helping Atchison recover control of the plane. Still making desperate mayday calls, he continued the descent in a more controlled manner in order to reach breathable air and steer clear of other planes. Would you like a photo from the recreation?
Oh,
yes, please.
The dramatic scenes unfolding inside the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
That's apparently what was going on.
Oh, look at that.
Bit much, isn't it?
He's just dangling outside, isn't he?
Discord, don't let me down. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's a good reconstruction.
He's doing a flap.
You can feel the stress.
Upon reaching a lower altitude, Atchison started to slow down and level out. As he did so, Captain Lancaster's body slid down around the left side of the cockpit, leaving his bloodied and battered face plastered against the window. Rogers sat in the jump seat, still holding on to his legs, but one look through the window at Lancaster told him he was probably already gone. His eyes were wide open, totally unblinking, and his skin was going grey. Someone suggested that they let go of his body. Ogden shot down the suggestion on principle, and Atchison agreed, pointing out that his body could strike the wings or the engines, damaging the plane. And
so, that's the only reason.
Yeah, probably. They want to crash the plane.
Yeah.
And so they continued to hold on for dear life. Ogden left the cockpit to recover from his encounter with the freezing 560km/h winds and sat down with flight attendant Sue Prince, who had been tending to the terrified passengers. "I think the captain's dead," he told her, which is always good to hear. Mm-hmm. With the plane slowed to a reasonable speed, the wind noise reduced enough for First Officer Atchison to talk to air traffic control. The controller suggested an emergency landing in Southampton, the closest available airport. This put Atchison in a tough position. He wasn't familiar with Southampton. He was flying a 2-pilot jet by himself in an emergency, and all his charts and checklists had been sucked out of the plane.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
It says that he requested to land at Gatwick instead, but quickly settled on Southampton, a decision he felt compelled to make by the severity of the situation. Relying on the guidance of the controller with no charts and no captain to help him, Alistair Atchison guided Flight 5390 down to a safe and controlled landing at Southampton, much to the relief of the passengers whose lives had flashed before their eyes only minutes earlier. All 81 passengers disembarked without a single injury, while ambulances rushed to the aid of the beleaguered crew. Paramedics found Ogden, Rogers, Heward and Atchison suffering from minor injuries ranging from frostbite to shock to a dislocated shoulder. There was little hope for Captain Lancaster, who had been pinned to the outside of a plane amid 600km/h winds and temperatures as low as -17 degrees.
Oh, it's got to be like getting smacked in the face repeatedly with winds like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But as paramedics removed his body from the plane, he started to show signs of life. Within a few minutes, he had opened his eyes, regained consciousness, and appeared to be recovering. Reportedly, the first thing he said after coming round was, "I want to eat." Which I do relate to.
Someone order me a McPodiots.
No emails from Google yet, by the way. In what can only be considered a medical miracle, Tim Lancaster suffered little more than frostbite, bruising, and a few relatively minor bone fractures. After being released from the hospital and taking time to recuperate from his ordeal, Captain Lancaster returned to flying jets for British Airways only 5 months after the accident.
Wow.
And there we
are. That's the one
God.
situation where I would forgive the entire plane clapping when the plane touches down on the runway.
He did it.
That probably deserves a bit of applause, I think.
This is an actual photo of the outside of the plane after they landed. There is. We won't tweet this one out.
Oh, wow.
You can
okay.
see some blood.
Yeah.
From the captain. Serious shiz was there.
Yeah.
That's rough. How is the window at the very front of the plane not considered like a key element of the plane?
No idea.
It's absolutely mad. I mean, I'm sure it is now. I think this probably changed a lot of things for the aviation industry, but Jesus, I can't believe anyone got on the plane before the 90s.
Yeah.
It might be that the issue that was listed, like, the bolts need replace, or the pane needs replacing, maybe it was just a routine replacement, like at that point. Like, if it wasn't replaced immediately, it doesn't matter as long as it's replaced within the next 6 months kind of thing. So maybe that's why it's not considered. I think in that sense it means it wasn't considered like important, rather than no one needs to check that the right bolts have gone in on this new pane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet they've changed all sorts of like checking and double checking other people's work and stuff like that.
It goes into more detail at the end about what could have gone wrong and why it went wrong. But yeah,
It sounds like everything went wrong that could have went wrong. Every little mistake. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
There weren't enough bolts. The wrong ones had gone in the first place. It was dark in the storeroom, and the man didn't have his glasses.
That's the most heinous thing. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's the
God.
photo that was doing the rounds. If someone wants to add that to the to the thread, but there he is
And
dangling.
people were
out the
asking
plane.
if that was real.
Yeah, people thought that might have been real.
Oh, it doesn't even. He looks 2D. I don't think he actually is. They probably did it with like a dummy or a person, but it doesn't even look like an actual real photo of anything. I think
There just happened to be a paparazzi plane flying right next to it for the entire journey. Oh dear. There we go. I enjoy that.
That's my thing.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Ben.
What a story.
Wow.
Thank you very much indeed.
Spooky plane adventure.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, it's time for a question. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, where is it? One moment, please. This is from Heron at Book Salamander on Twitter, who says, "It's bedtime, but you can't sleep. What embarrassing memory is keeping you up?" Oh, no.
I mean, all of my answers for the previous one about Friends.
Oh.
Right, yeah. Oh, man. I've got a recent thing that was bothering me.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my most embarrassing memory, but it's just the most recent one. Is that one of Amy's friends came over, not like a few weeks ago, and one night we'd opened a bottle of wine, and we're all sitting there like slightly inebriated, and we're having like a bit of a philosophical conversation about. Oh no, that's it. It wasn't that philosophical. She'd asked, Amy's friend had asked, what 3 languages would you learn if you could just learn them overnight? Like if you wake up in the morning and you're fluent in 3 foreign languages, what would you choose? So we were just talking about like, maybe Japanese because it's somewhere I want to go, or, Spanish because it's spoken in loads of countries, things like that. And then we got onto which languages sound nice versus which ones don't sound as nice to the British ear, potentially. I guess it varies nation to nation. And I was talking about Mediterranean languages, and I referred to them as the Romantic languages. And then 1 minute later, Amy's friend, who's very clever, was like, yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, Peter. Yeah, that's the thing about the Romance languages. And I went,
no, you got
in my
it
head,
wrong.
I was like, I just called them the Romantic languages.
Oh, that's close enough.
And now she thinks that, like...
But that's what she was.
I'm an
she was
idiot.
thinking, that noise, Mikey. Didn't he do great? Close
Oh, he knows
enough.
that it's sort of vaguely something. The rom-com
Good
languages.
try, Peter. How's your video game job going, bud?
Yeah. No, she's not like that at all. I hasten to add, but I went to bed that night thinking.
She made a point of correcting
Jesus.
you, though.
Yeah.
Well, she did. I don't think she was. I don't think she was correcting me as such, but she was genuinely just agreeing. But
You could have called them like the sexy languages or something.
I could. Yeah. It means like the ones that are derived from Roman, like they're the Romance languages. It's not even to do with the word romance or romantic in that sense. It's just where they're derived from, I think. But that's where I got the confusion from, though, is because romance also means the sexy love languages. So I said romantic, and I was like, oh no. So that doesn't still keep me up, but it's the most recent one that did. I think I'm trying to think of one of the worst ones.
Bit cringy.
Yeah.
I think I'm well. I wouldn't say I'm predisposed to it. It's because of my own actions, but I'm very much one of those people who gets post-night out drinking anxiety. Like the fear, I think it's called, where you wake up the next day like, oh god, what did I do? What did I do? I know I've done something wrong. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
At my brother's wedding, it was a very nice affair, like in like a grand British country manor. It was all very posh and very nice, and all of like the lady, not my brother's side, not our side of the family, but the other family, all very well-to-do, quite middle class, a lovely bunch of people. And me being me, decided to have quite a lot to drink on the night. It was all going fine, playing with the dogs, playing massive Jenga with people. I was like, great, I'm having fun. And then obviously my memory conked out at some point, and I woke up the next day in bed like, all right, cool, I made it through. And we go downstairs to get breakfast, and just like several people turn to me and say, oh, you were quite drunk last night, weren't you? And I was into like, Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? I know I was, but I can't remember what I did. I think I was doing all right, but I was like starting to stumble a little bit after playing Jenga. So I was like, all right, Michael, let's get you to bed. But before we went to bed, like there was these two handles on the wall. God knows what they did, but it's just kind of like a circular handle that you can rotate and it does something. We thought, it'll be fun. Let's have a go of these before we go to bed. I put my hand on it, twist, and it just comes off the wall completely, breaks. And everyone's like, all right, Michael, time for you to get to bed. Go to bed. And I was at this point, I don't remember it happening, so I was pretty unaware until the memory is forced upon me at breakfast time. And I think that kept me away for a couple of days. Just like, oh God, around all this nice new family, I'm the drunk one who played Big Jenga and broke a handle off the wall and had to be hurried off to bed.
Well, if it isn't Big Jenga himself.
Big Jenga Johnson.
Here he is.
Yeah, I think I just need to stop being such an idiot when I'm drinking, but never.
Well, we wouldn't have videos of you lap dancing on Dave.
Oh, God, that's another one that's kept me up. Jesus Christ, yeah. Michael, get it together.
Yeah. Most of the things that keep me up at night are just traumatic social experiences that I'd rather not get into.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought of a few that I just don't want to actually say out loud.
Yeah,
but I've got one that I can say after.
But
I definitely have like a few just little encounters with people where I've said maybe something a bit stupid or misinterpreted what they've said, and I'm like, oh, leave that interaction feeling like a weird person. But
yeah, it's nearly always social stuff.
Yeah,
like awkward moments, or I
like to think the other person's completely forgotten about it, but I'm here and I'm stuck thinking about it.
Happened to me recently, actually, but I ended up setting a reminder on my phone to just email this person again, because I feel like I was really worried that there were some crossed wires and maybe I'd come across as a bit too curt in an email.
Yeah.
And I was really worrying, like, oh no, that person didn't reply to that email after I sent that, and now I'm worried, and I know I'm overthinking it probably, but I then did send it. It did keep me up, and I did set a reminder on my phone the next day to email them and just say, hey, just want to, like, I'm probably overthinking this, but just want to say, like, I'm sorry if that came across as a bit curt. You know how emails are. Didn't mean it like that. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. And it was fine. But, hadn't even crossed that person's mind, apparently. So
yeah, that's so often the way.
It's usually all in your own head.
Yeah, well, like in my case, I definitely think that no one was actually saying, Peter, you got that word wrong. But I just realised, oh, that's not the word I just said. I said a similar word that was wrong, and everyone was laughing at me, but they weren't. But
big idiot.
I've thought of one where some people did laugh at me because they knew why it was funny, and others didn't, because it was at a certain age where some of us were privy to certain things in life and others weren't. So I was, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something like that, and there was this girl in our group who was talking about horoscopes, and I didn't really know much about them. I knew my own star sign, but I've never really gone in for like zodiac stuff. But I didn't know what like different signs were supposed to be. People say like, oh, I'm a typical Gemini, me, typical Gemini.
I'm an asparagus. What can I say?
Exactly, yeah. So this girl was just talking about what all of our signs were and what that ought to mean about our personalities. And one of us was a Taurus, and she was saying, oh yeah, well, and he's a Taurus, and that's the bull. And she said, like, and you can probably guess what kind of associations there are with the bull. And I said, oh, that sort of makes sense that, like, I suppose that he would be the bull because. And then I was trying to think of the right word, and I was at an age where my lexicon wasn't quite there. And when you just sort of make up a word just because everyone else will get the gist of what you're saying, like you might just say, oh, that's a bit Podiotish, or like, oh, that's very, I can't even think of an example, but you just sort of make up the right idea. And I wanted to say that this guy was, I don't know, that he stands his ground, or that he'll like charge in head first. And I said, yeah, that's interesting that he's the bull sign, because he's kind of, he's quite horny, isn't he? And like half the group laughed at me, and the other half didn't, because they didn't know that word. Like I say, we were about 11 or something, and then it was sort of explained to me what I'd just said, and I was like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. I just meant that he goes in all guns blazing, and that's embarrassing. And that definitely kept me awake for many nights after that, just thinking, I said the sexy word, and I'm only a child.
A child.
They laughed at me. A child.
Oh dear. Oh. I wouldn't know how to feel if I was that child that got called horny.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh dear, Peter.
He was one of the ones who didn't know the word, fortunately, so that wasn't so bad.
Oh, so he just heard everyone laughing. He's like, "What?"
Yeah. Like, what would you? What?
Bulls have horns.
He probably understood what I was trying to say. He was like, "Oh yeah, I suppose I am. I'm pretty horny.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. That's me."
Oh, if only no one had laughed, he could have gone home to his parents that night and said, "Mum, Dad, am I horny?"
What is it?
I'm a Taurus, and they say that means I'm horny. I think they could be right. Yeah. Mikey.
Aye?
Could you give us a thing, please?
I'd love to give you a thing.
Pop your thing further closer.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, Jesus Christ, that didn't sound good. Ouch. I have in front of me a list of things, and it's time to make them fight, because it's been a little while.
I thought it was time we had a tournament. I was thinking that on the way home today.
It was time for a tournament.
We're overdue.
I'm quite excited for this one, because it's close to my heart. Today, we're going to be making 16 great British dishes fight to find the ultimate champion of British cuisine.
Hell yeah.
This list is things we should all be relatively familiar with, I think.
Okay.
And I'll explain as we go along for the non-UK viewers, because some of these are, quite frankly, ridiculous meals to anyone who wasn't born on these isles.
You shouldn't even be allowed to listen, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if you don't know
Disgusting.
Switch off.
We voted to leave the world.
Leave us on our island with our brown food, please.
Leave us on our grey, sad rock.
Yeah.
Right.
But please keep sending your Billy Bear hand.
Yes, please.
Or
we'll
continue to commit acts of Google terrorism.
We'll change your business to a McPodiots. Don't you dare cross us.
I have a feeling it's not going to work, but we'll see.
I hope so. I'm going to keep checking in on my McDonald's and see if it gets updated. But for now, are you ready for the first fight? And I think this is an interesting one, at least.
Okay.
A good, proper, full English breakfast. So full English breakfast is like the ultimate dream breakfast. Consists of like toast, mushrooms, tomato, bacon, sausages, black pudding, mushrooms, all sorts of things. It's a big lot of things for a breakfast, and it's a thing of beauty.
Egg of your choosing.
Eggs, of course, as well. So, full English versus a chicken tikka masala, which I am claiming is a British dish, because I think it is like the national dish of England, even though it's got Indian origin.
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it? That like curry is one of our national dishes now.
A number of them were a number of those dishes were invented in the UK. I'm not sure if masala was specifically, but certainly some of them have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really tough, because a masala's great.
Masala is good. And the thing is, as well, as much as I really appreciate, on the right day where you need something to pep you up in the morning, a bit of bacon, sausage, egg, toast, that'll really get me going.
It's holidays.
But, holidays, early drives, going to the airport and stuff, which I may never do after today's episode, but that's fine. But there's a whole load of stuff in a quote-unquote full English breakfast that I would always ask for it without. I would say, I don't want any mushroom, tomato. I won't even have the beans, thanks. I'm fine.
What?
I don't mind black...
Mad.
I don't mind black pudding, but I wouldn't sort of miss it if it wasn't there.
For black pudding, for people who don't know what that is, black pudding is cooked pig's blood?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's it.
Leave us on our
Tastes
rock.
delicious, though.
Yeah.
And even like hash browns. I mean, I don't dislike them, but if they weren't on the menu, I wouldn't mind.
Wow.
They're one of the best parts.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bit strange having potato for breakfast. It just seems a bit
You're
odd.
a bit strange for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know, that's true.
Got him. I'm erring on the side of a full English because I think in the pantheon of curries, we can do better than a chicken tikka, and I think I'd much rather have a full English, like most days.
That's the thing. Even though I'd get rid of half of the ingredients, I'd still rather have a full English more often than just the odd tikka masala once in a
It's the beauty of a full English. You can customize it to your liking. It's an everyman's dish.
So are you going for tikka masala, Peter?
No, I'm going for full English because I'd have that more often.
I'm definitely also going for full English, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we have a strong contender for winner already. Next up is Toad in the Hole, which is...
Toad?
Toad just put in a hole and you pour some gravy in the hole and then...
You know Wind in the Willows? It's that, but edible.
It's that, yeah.
Toad in the Hole it's a massive Yorkshire pudding with sausages embedded within the pudding itself.
What's a Yorkshire pudding?
Yeah, for those who don't know what Yorkshire pudding is.
How do you describe Yorkshire pudding?
It's just batter mix, but in like a deep pan.
Yeah, like little battered cupcakes, I guess,
so
but
good.
Not cupcakes.
You have it with meat. You have it with a Sunday lunch. Oh, it's good.
They're kind of nothing on their own, but you use them as like vehicles for gravy, and that's where they shine. So, Toad in the Hole versus good old bog standard beans on toast.
Toad in the Hole. It's not even a competition, this one.
Really?
Oh, really? Are you not I mean, I agree, because I don't even like beans, but I was well expecting you two to say beans on toast.
I don't dislike beans, but I always have associated it with my childhood as the disappointing tea.
Right.
Whereas like, what's for dinner? Beans on toast? Oh, okay.
I want a toad in the hole.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I guess. You're right. But I just fucking love beans on toast.
Love beans, me.
Like, I'm a big beanie boy, and I don't know, it's a simple meal which is really satisfying. You can spice it up a little bit if you want to, or you can have it straight as
bit of cheese.
Cheese.
Although I know that I think if you did a poll, I think beans on toast would win, but because I don't like it, I'm also going to go with Toad in the Hole, which, if made right, is very good. If made wrong, is actually really bad and can just be... You can have, like,
soggy flan,
an oily bottom, and...
soggy
it can be really, actually quite horrible. But a good Toad in the Hole is actually very nice.
Okay. I'm not too upset about that. I love beans, but Toad in the Hole gets my respect as well. Shepherd's pie, which is... it's like beef mince in a gravy with some vegetables topped with like a layer of mashed potato, usually made in like a casserole dish or something. Very nice. And fish and chips.
Oh, man, I love shepherd's pie, but fish and chips though.
Yeah.
I don't love shepherd's pie personally. I think it's good, but fish and chips, it's just got to be.
Yeah, I'm going fish and chips as well.
So bad for you. You feel so bad with every mouthful. Like, what am I consuming?
How can a food be this golden?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... you just look at it, like, I've consumed like a kilogram of nothing but potatoes, and...
You just feel like they battered the batter before they even put it around the fish, somehow.
I've still got that super high-res close-up photo of fish and chips.
Oh, yeah.
I have it saved.
Have you?
I've had it saved on my PC for, like, 4 years now, maybe longer.
That's like goes back to what culture? We used to just send each other the fish and chips.
You can zoom in on it and it's like, oh man, look at that. That looks delicious.
You can see little tiny salt crystals on it.
It's so shiny.
It's just this giant, like 10,000 by 10,000. It's ridiculous.
The fish and chip photo. I'll send it to you tomorrow, Peter, if
I'm
going to
check Google for it now so we can go on the thread, but please do send it tomorrow.
To send Peter the fish and chip photo. We'll put it on the thread tomorrow.
It's got to be fish and chips. That's my vote.
Fish and chips. That's what I'm going for as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree fully. Shepherd's pie is nice, but fish and chips is like so interlinked with like happy memories, and it's just a pleasant dish usually had on pleasant days, like a bank holiday or a sunny evening. Go on, get the chippy, get yourself some fish and chips.
Go on, son, get your chips and doon you.
Here's a threatening bit. Bring back the change. Change. Right, next, these next two are kind of rehashes of ingredients we've already seen, but I think that's going to be a recurring theme after this because we're not very adventurous with our ingredients. But a bacon sandwich
versus
versus bangers and mash, which is sausages and mashed potato.
I'm going with bacon sandwich because I find, again, as much as I always loved my dad's cooking growing up, he would make sausages and mashed potato, and there would always be a huge sausage deficit, and you would end up with just a mountain of mashed potato when really you're there for the sausages.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta get your ratios right. You can't have all slop, no meat products.
Yeah. I agree. I think bacon sandwich. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to say a bit of bangers and mash myself. I'm a big mashed potato man, but I guess we've lost today to the humble bacon sandwich.
Yeah, you've gone against mine and Ben's votes a couple of times now, Mikey. We're clearly not aligned.
Game, Johnson. Big Jenga, as we will call you from now on. Big Jenga. What's your game, Big Jenga?
Handle boy.
So I'm going to get back to my room and have my shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and bangers and mash.
I can confirm that the fish and chips image is not obviously on Google Images, even when you sort by large images. There are loads and loads and loads of giant pictures of fish and chips, but nothing like the fish and chips photo.
Not the image. Too powerful for the internet. Scrubbed.
Yeah.
We are halfway through the first round. We continue with Sunday roast. Again, much like the full English, this is quite an interchangeable meal. You can kind of do with it what you want. But the main constituent part is roast vegetables, use some potatoes, some meat. It's lovely, lovely. Like maybe some roasted carrots and some parsnips.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Lot of gravy, aye. Absolutely slathered in onion gravy.
Perhaps a Yorkshire pudding or two.
Big pud.
Oh yes, big bit of pud on the side of that plate. That versus, I'm going to start this one off with a fact which I found, which I don't think is true, but I don't have any information to denounce it. By the age of 16, the average British child will have eaten this dish 4,160 times. Do you want to guess what that dish is?
And it's not a roast dinner.
Garlic and chips.
Garlic and chips.
Michael jokes in yes.
Oh man, I would have thought it'd be one of the others that we've had. Like
spaghetti bolognese.
Nope.
Oh, damn.
Pizza.
It's fish fingers, chips and beans.
No, I was going to say fish fingers. I was thinking that. I thought spag bol is a go-to. It's a go-to.
Yeah, it's like a nice easy chuck it all in a thing and
I don't know why I said pizza. Fine. This is British food.
Pizza. Show us your pizza.
Which, I mean, I can understand because it's an easy to cook meal and it's quite satisfying. So, like, if your parents are like, I can't be bothered to make actual food, let's just have a plate of brown.
A plate of brown.
Making sense. So, Sunday roast versus the under 16's favourite of fish fingers, chips and beans.
For me, it's got to be Sunday roast.
Yeah.
Partly because I just love a roast, and also because I would say the king or queen of all meals. Well, that's actually a strong statement, but certainly one of the best meal events of the year for me, and some people hate it, is Christmas dinner. And that's just a giant roast.
Yeah, how can you hate Christmas dinner? What's wrong with you?
I know, people get really pissed off with Christmas dinner and like...
Imagine being cross at a dinner. Oh, you...
Oh, it's too much bloody stuffing. Oh,
could
what's this plate like?
It can't not be... I love fish fingers, but it can't not be roast dinner.
It's a different caliber, isn't it? Like fish fingers, chips and beans is like, it's a comfort food, but it's not
roast
good.
dinner is the meal. Like, it is the meal. It's the family meal. You can have proper food and proper gravy.
We used to have Sunday roast every single week when I was growing up, and we all sat around the table and ate it, which we did most days for the rest of the week as well. But sometimes, like on weekdays, me and my siblings would eat something earlier in the day when we got home from school, and my parents would eat separately, like later in the evening. But Sunday, we all like just sat down as a family together and ate a roast dinner and actually spoke to each other. In this household, we drink from the hose pipe and we come home when the lights go on.
And we carry 50p's in our arseholes.
We do. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was the thing that my parents tried in vain to do at various times as well. There's always at least one meal a week where we all sit at the table together, and that's roasty din-dins.
Roast. Mm-hmm. It's an institution, so I'm glad it made it through. Now we're getting into the last few where you could tell I ran out of dishes to make up this list, so it's all a little bit more strange.
Is garlic and chips in there?
No, it's not, sadly.
Just because it would be a ringer, it would win the whole thing.
It's only £2. Unless you get the extra 50s, and it's £2.50.
So £2.50 for a big meal.
Then you just go to the Austin household and you got your 50 easy.
Yeah. That's why we carry the 50p with us at all times up the butt.
In case you need that
just
extra
in
garlic.
case you fancy an extra 50's worth of garlic.
Take it from the 50 jar, not that one.
Afternoon tea.
Okay.
So usually consisting of tea, the drink, little cakes, little sandwich fingers, all very small and quaint and posh.
Delicate.
Versus a good old sausage roll.
Yeah, that's a meal. Sausage roll, I can't say that I've ever had afternoon tea.
Really, it's fine. It's mainly made for the facade of it, like, oh, look at me, I'm fancy.
You could have gone for a cream tea.
See, yeah, I was just about to say that. I would much rather have a cream tea, a scone with jam and clotted cream and a cup of tea, than faff around with cucumber sandwiches. What the hell is going on
there? Are we
there?
still rationing? Is it the 50s?
Oh, I didn't know cream tea had a name. Yeah. That does look good, but it's not on the list. So
not on the list, so it doesn't exist.
It's a close runner-up, though.
I'm going to preemptively get in here and just say, for the final question, I want people to reply or tweet us and just list all of the famous British dishes that weren't included.
Steak and chips.
In this tournament.
I try to do my research, and I always seem to forget big things. When
Mikey, you've done an incredible job. I'm not saying I could do better, but I'm certain that there'll be more that we haven't thought of, and I would like them to be made known to me as much as
don't say jelly deal or anything. No one actually.
Come on, no one's eating cockles out of the back of a van.
Are we going sausage roll then for that one?
Yeah,
I agree.
So.
Yeah, good. Entering the dessert reign of things now.
Okay.
Really running out of things. Apple crumble versus sticky toffee pud.
Oh, apple crumble for this boy.
Oh, I like a stiffy toffee. A stiffy toffee.
All right, horny.
Bit horny over here. I do like a stiffy toffee pud, me.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I mean, or sticky, whatever. You're stiffy or sticky, I'll take anything.
Spotted dick. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna err towards the apple crumble side of things.
Fair enough. It's a good dessert. To be fair.
Yeah. I mean, they're both heavy puds, but sticky toffee pudding in particular can be quite dense and leave you feeling quite worn out after eating it.
Large pud.
Apple crumble. Congratulations. Right, this is the last two. And what a final two it is. Trifle.
Oh.
Is that British? That feels French now. I'm looking at it.
Trifle with you soak the sandwich fingers, whatever they're
fingers,
called.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bit. I always thought there was one bit that I really didn't like. It was always the spongy little lady fingers. That's what they're called.
Yeah, lady fingers.
I like them on their own. They're really nice. When you're making a trifle, we had to make one at school in food tech. And we just ate a load of those fingers, really.
Wow, I didn't realise they came unsoggy.
It's just sponge cake. Yeah, unsoggy. They're really nice. It's just like a stick of sponge. It's really good.
Oh, nice. To describe an English trifle to viewers at home, it's like a layered dessert built up from jelly with little bits of cake and fruits in it, with a layer of thick custard, with a layer of thick cream, and topped usually with strawberries. It's usually served in a giant dish as well.
Jelly being gelatin, the wobbly thing, not jam. That's what we call jelly.
What do Americans call jelly?
Gelatin, I think.
Is it?
Jello's a brand.
Oh, Jello, yeah.
Yeah, sort of the consistency of Jello, if that helps.
Well, there's that bit in The Simpsons where everyone brings gelatin dessert to Mr. Burns'. It's like season 2 when they're still drawn a bit wonky, and everyone brings gelatin dessert to Mr. Burns' birthday.
Have you seen the world of savoury gelatin desserts? Not desserts, just
meals. The lawless 60s world of they've got peas and fish in it. And stuff.
Jesus.
God, what the fuck is this? I'm trying to find the worst one, but they're all awful. Oh, this one's got prawns in it. God almighty.
Stick it in the thread.
Absolutely lawless.
Oh, that is...
Oh, no. Look at that.
No. Oh, it's got apple on the side, though, so that's fine.
Why is it green, though? Mum, why is it green?
Mum, get the camera. Mum, get the bucket.
Mum, Delia's not always right, Mum.
No, definitely not.
Think
in
for
this
yourself.
instance. So, nice trifle, not the prawn trifle we're currently looking at, versus scones. Or scones.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to go trifle.
All right. I'm going scones. I love a scone. If it's got clotted cream and jam, I'll have a scone.
Scone or scone?
I'm scone.
I feel like I forget my
scone.
answer, and I just choose the other one each time. You're scone, Mikey, did you say?
I'm going to go scone, because I would never in my life pronounce like a soft O, like a scone.
Scone. Yeah, I suppose scone is quite posh, isn't it?
Well, if you say scone, you can't do the joke, which is what's the fastest cake in the world? Scone.
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 Here today, scone tomorrow. That kind of works.
I'm gonna err on the side of scones here.
Yeah.
Okay, trifle's dead. All right. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, it can be disappointing. The best bit for me is just the cold custard.
But I like that. I like the custard.
Shut up, trifle. You're dead.
You're dead. All right, we move on to the next stage. I'm not sure if it's the quarter or semi-finals. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all just written down in a little notepad. It's not official. First heat. Full English versus Toad in the Hole.
Full English.
Yeah, I'm going to go full English as well. Toad in the Hole, nice, but just not. Yes, Toad in the Hole's too niche. Fish and chips versus a bacon sandwich. Fish and chips for me, surely.
Fish and chips, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, I suppose.
Yeah. Bacon's nice, but yeah, I don't know, it's not as quite as satisfying or anything. A Sunday roast versus a sausage roll.
Sausage roll and a Sunday roast.
Sunday roast.
Yeah, Sunday roast. I'd love to see sausage rolls incorporated as part of a Sunday roast. That's kind of like a beef Wellington, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, beef Wellington. I've only ever had that like 3 times, and I wish it was more common as a thing, but I guess it's a bit of a faff to make.
Yeah, Wellingtons in general, very tasty, very tasty. You usually find them at like pubs in the middle of the countryside.
Yeah,
That's where you'll get
Wellingtons, for those who don't know, I don't know how British they are or if they're more global, but a beef Wellington, for example, is like a huge joint of beef, usually like slightly pink and moist in the middle, and then the whole thing is wrapped in a giant pastry. It is like just a huge sausage roll, but with, you can have salmon Wellington. That's quite nice.
Whoa,
that sounds good.
They put a whole side of salmon inside pastry. Really good.
What about the other side? So just go and spare.
I don't know. They leave that they let that go. It swims away.
It seems they put it back in the sea.
Yeah.
Apple crumble versus scones.
Apple crumble.
I'd say scone personally, but
I'm going to lean towards a scone.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, really? Scone has that much staying power?
I just think they're bloody nice. I don't know, just big creamy scone, hint of jam. Oh, can't
I love a scone.
Maybe I've just
And
had bad scones.
Maybe.
All I'm thinking
Sugary
is
bread.
dry, slightly sweet, a bit stale because they were on offer scones.
Yeah, you've got to have if you don't have something with them, they are really actually quite dry.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I love a scone, and I also don't have strong opinions, don't have strong love for apple crumble, so that's why I'm team scone.
Man,
Whoa, I've just realised something.
what's up?
A British scone and an American biscuit are both the same thing or very similar?
They're similar. I don't know if they're actually exactly the same.
They're like flaky pastry, right? That's sort of a bit closer to maybe sausage roll pastry. I might be wrong here, but
And I think they have them in more of a savoury context. I think they have like biscuits and gravy, whereas you wouldn't have a scone with gravy.
gravy, proper gravy.
Well, they're quite similar. Gravy. Right, we're on to the semi-final. Full English versus fish and chips.
Oh, now
That's a
shit.
toughie, isn't it?
that's a true semi-final for British
God.
dish.
Why did you do this? Can't
I don't
believe
know.
you've
I'm looking at
done
these
this.
and I don't want to choose one. I don't.
I am gonna put my foot down. I'm gonna draw a line in the sand, and I'm gonna say, having voted for both of these dishes to reach this point, fish and chips?
I'm not upset by that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now. This is very difficult.
If we allow for the fact that I can also order like maybe something else at the chippy if I fancy it on occasion, like a jumbo sausage or maybe even some nuggets. Sometimes they do decent nuggets at chippies. Then sure, yeah, I'll go fish and chips. The chips are just so good. They're unlike any other chips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. No, chip shop chips are a magical fluffy beast. Oh, so have you both gone fish and chips there?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Wow, I was erring on the side of full English, but let's get that out of here. Sorry, full English, we love you.
Full English.
We will be back. Full English. Sunday roast versus a scone.
Sunday roast. Come on, you guys are going to stop this bullshit now.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Sunday roast. Right, this is it. This is the final. Fish and chips versus a Sunday roast.
It's close.
If it's my grandma's Sunday roast, then that wins.
Yeah,
If
you're
it's
right.
any other Sunday roast, fish and chips.
My mum does the best roast potatoes. I think everyone's mum
so
does the
my
best
yes,
roast
so does my mum. My mum also.
My mum
does
does the best roast potatoes. Yeah, I think Sunday roast has to take it just because. Oh, I forgot about roast potatoes, man. Good God,
Yeah.
what a meal.
When done right,
Yeah.
they're just...
Not get that Aunt Bessie's shit out of here.
Homemade only.
My grandma,
Sunday roast.
whenever we go to her house, whatever we're having, well, not whatever we're having, but quite often if she's got some like salmon or something and she's made new potatoes with it in a big bowl in the middle, she's always got a little extra dish with like 5 roast potatoes in it just for me. She just does it for me. I get spoiled.
So good. Yeah, it's the many ways in which potatoes can be used in a full English Sunday roast. It's
Grandma's specialist boy.
Yeah.
If you do a Sunday roast properly, it should be like a mini Christmas dinner. I feel. Mm-hmm. Don't go for like soggy steamed things. Everything's got to be bloody roasted to a crisp, slathered in. Maybe a little apple sauce on the side.
It's the only time I ever have parsnips as well. I've never had those with anything else.
Parsnips are good. Roast parsnips.
I do love a parsnip. Yeah.
Big fan of parsnips.
I'm really hungry now.
Then you've got crackling. You got pigs in blankets. You got stuffing balls.
It's magical. Yeah, no, I think that's a firm winner. It deserves its place at the top.
Oh, also, fucking lamb and mint sauce, underrated. Mint sauce is amazing.
I am disgusted by the idea of mint sauce.
Right, see, this is the thing.
I've never had.
Yeah, Amy's like this as well. We had lamb once. It was like on offer, and I said, "Oh, we should get some mint sauce for it." And she was like, "What?" And she'd like barely even heard of it. Like she'd sort of was aware of it and had always just discounted it immediately because it sounds horrible. And I didn't even try it till I was about 13. But oh god, mint sauce on lamb is just absolutely fantastic.
God, I'm actually so hungry right now. Jesus.
Me too.
Thank you very much, you two, for helping me decide that very important
Mikey.
battle.
Thanks, Mikey. That was great.
Cheers.
And there we are. Those are all of our questions and all of our things. It is time. Thank you, Peter, by the way. For
You're
putting
welcome.
those together.
Yeah.
It is time to check in on what happened, or what is / will be happening on Vidiots, the YouTube channel, 3 years ago. 3 years. Yes, 3 years ago. This week, this fortnight. Quick subscriber update. We've lost 63 in the last 28 days. Thanks, everyone. Brilliant. Super appreciating. Coming out today at the time of release, which is Tuesday the 7th, I think, which we talked about last time. Worst Games Ever Fight Club. Then we've got Draw the Fans 2. You Want a Blowjob? Prop Hunt Part 2. It's the name of the video, by the way.
Yeah.
Post Tat number 30. This is a Heart Attack.
What was that?
It says in the description, consider us now fully stocked for the biggest children's party you've ever seen. So I assume we got a lot of treats.
I think that's when we got all the Hannah Montana like hats and napkins
and also we got
stuff.
the Art Attack PC game as well.
Right.
Nice.
It's in the thumbnail. So there we are. We also had Heroes in Training, Marvel's Spider-Man Part 1 for Prove It. Mm-hmm. Worst Games Ever, 50 Cent Bulletproof, an episode that went down really, really well. People loved that being featured on Worst Games Ever, even though it's objectively shit. Fight us. It's not good.
Do it.
Boundless Stream Highlights, #ad. Remember that game? Remember how good Boundless was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was great. Where you play as that weird alien with like a hand for a head.
they let us loose in the public servers, and the first thing we did was we built a wall to block off people's access to some vital area. And
yeah, I just built up really high and jumped off it, and
that's fine.
Great time. Thanks, guys.
That's how that works. Get out of the way. Overcooked 2. Did a video on Overcooked 2 apparently. Dunster vlog. Arcades, fish and chips, and castles.
Fish and chips.
Oh, fish and chips.
There you go. Heroes in
That
training.
was an adventure.
Sorry, say that again.
No, it's just that was an adventure
Wasn't
that
it?
weekend.
It really was.
Oh.
That was a fun time. Heroes in Training Marvel Spider-Man Part 2 of the previous Let's Play. We should really only do one episode of those.
Yeah.
We learned that the hard way. Podiots episode 15, Get the Flump. Get the Flump. Possum Tat number 31, Poop. What's the name of that one?
Okay.
Marvel's Spider-Man in real life live action finale.
I'm a big fan of this live action finale for it.
Yeah.
I think it was a good one. Also deeply embarrassing for you, Ben, wasn't it?
Yeah, it also has fewer views than the first Let's Play, which is bullshit. So go and watch that.
Do you know what I like about that live action challenge is the bit where Ben is dressed up and he's like fighting. He's either fighting Mikey or fighting PNGs that are like being thrown at him.
Yes.
And he's giving verbal instructions as to what the editor needs to like include, and he's going like bang, bang, and ready and swing away. And the audio has been left in, and you can hear him
just to
saying
make
it.
me look as stupid as possible.
Oh dear.
And I do. I look really silly. Remember when people thought it was you under the suit, Peter?
Yeah, they just thought
Is
that
that- well,
you weren't involved in that
Peter's
video.
playing Peter Parker, so Ben just clearly wasn't there at all. Finally, we had one of the worst games ever. Hulk Hogan's main event.
Oh, dreadful.
God, that was just abysmal. Yeah.
Next episode, it's the birth of an icon, by the way. The next video that went out on the channel. We'll get to that on the next episode of Podiots, though. Mikey, I believe there's some sort of store.
.yogscast.com, I think you'll find. If you head over to store.yogscast.com, you'll find a lovely little corner of the site featuring some lovely Vidiots-themed merch, including mugs, t-shirts, and hoodie, all available in an array of beautiful, dazzling designs. And if you're feeling tempted, how about this? Suck on this one. If you use code Vidiots at checkout, you'll get 10% off absolutely everything on the Yogscast store. Everything. If you use code Vidiots at checkout, so you could buy yourself some lovely new clothes, some mugs, or whatever the hell takes your fancy. Ooh.
Sounds irresponsible, quite frankly, to give such savings away, but, go and make the most of it.
It's a limited time deal. It'll be gone before you know it.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots official. We're also on twitch.tv/Vidiots official. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. Donate £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast and support us in the process. Pumpy Platoon. Who we got?
Boris Johnson's son, John Borison. Still a big fan of that one. Peter's Parrots, POV Porn, Spingling Ting Jing Pling, Mr. Black, Hero in a Half Shirt, Tiny Power, Harrison Rathborn, Mike Ox Small, Donak 07, Always a Misadventure, Liz Anya, Put Dave in Halfords, R.I.P. Harambe and Geronimo, DBP and Lord B go to Red Square. The generous Sniper Griffin, got it right that time. Yeah. Pro Trainer, Stookalicious, A Monkey Stole My Tiny Spoiler, and Raindrop Joy. Thank you all.
Also, thank you to those. And also, Hawkman105, who was very generous. I Can Smell Freddie Weber, Chegwin, Segwin, Regwin, Deadwin, Get It Up Ye, Marquis Chegwin the Great, Cheggers Deluxe with Cheese, Jenny Tillwart, Dave's in York, Dave BDSM Phillips, Richard Wilson is Dickie Willie, Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, I'm really butchering these. That one bean that Ben lost.
Oh.
More like Cockness. Lucanus put Dave in Aldi. Sky the Grandpa. Peter Fanny Eater. Jong Zena. DBP is at the Creation Museum, who was very generous, thank you very much. I got Bumworms, Cunt Eastwood the stupidest one, and a little bit of Monaco.
Spready Cheeks Slappy Balls, who you gonna call Nutbusters? The parrot penis was a bit much, had to look up what dogging is. Oliver Closeoff, fist me at Pizza Hut please. Che Guevaro, parrot's prehensile penis. Mr. Macca, Caroline, I have your UB40 CD. Her Majesty's Stink Wrinkle. Janet, please move your car. Steve Osten is Peter's dad. Mikey's dogging partner. Just keep swimming, Ash. Full monitor. Finn Tristram and Wendy Miller. And there you go. That's your pod squad for this week. Thank you again to all of you for your generosity. Once again, streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. £3 or more. Get a shout out at the beginning of the end. Sure. Mikey, where are you on the internet?
At Paraboy on the Twitters is the best place to find me. That's where I put anything I do, as well as Paraboy on Twitch, where I stream from time to time. Ooh-wee.
And Peter, where are we?
We are at that Peter Austin and at confused_dude on Twitter. And together we are at Team Triple Jump on Twitter and Facebook, but more importantly perhaps on YouTube and Twitch, where we do live streams and we do videos. We have been, well, it won't be out yet, but we've been doing some cooking this week. Yeah, I don't think it'll be out for another week or two, but get excited. If you liked the silly cooking we used to do both at Vidiots and in the earlier days of Triple Jump pre-COVID, that's something that's coming back, as well as lots of other things that you know and love.
Oh, absolutely. And why not leave a review on your platform of choice? Something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. Please do it. Leave us a review. Honestly, you fucking better. I swear to God. Mm-hmm. And there we are. Final question is, which British dishes have we forgotten?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments and tweet us and that sort of thing. Right. Enjoy the rest of your weeks and look after yourselves. We'll be back in a fortnight. And until then, take care. All right.
Bye. See ya.
Bye-bye.